go. How's it going? I don't want to touch. Oh, yeah. I don't want to touch this because the phone is. How's it going? Look what I got in the mail. Isn't that lovely? It's a sticker. I think I'm going to put it on my window here so that I can see it every time. I don't know. Okay. Hi, everybody. Today's tea I'm very excited about because it's one of my favorites. Well, not my favorite tea, but one of my favorite fruits. This is Black Currant Beauty. And it says, deliciously deep purple fruits to help you glow inside and out. And God knows I need to glow. And then I'm going to put this into steep, and then I'm going to say hi. Mmm. Mmm. Oh. I'll show you. It's nice and purpley looking. It's dripping pink and purple juice. All right, let me say hi to everybody. Let me fix my thing there. Whoops. I had to fix the tilt of my... I had to fix the tilt of my... I'm not all here. All right, participants. Hey, Autumn Leaf, Becky, Joe Mama, Leanne Bishop, Samoa, Lisa Martin, Lori M, Martha Fletcher, Paula Bowie, Under Pressure, Paula in Canada, Railroad Ranch, Rosie Slade, Simply Jessica, Steven, the Mrs. Jamer, and it's not going down all the way. Oh, here it is. And Yoshi and Chaos. How's everybody doing? Okay, live chat. I really do want a sip of this, even though I know it's not completely steeped yet, but I haven't had my morning tea yet. I have been waiting for this. Oh, la 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 la. It's like hot Kool-Aid. It's wonderful. It is. It's like hot Kool-Aid. Hey, Steven, how's it going? I love your Christmas tree, darling. All right, here's the news. Howie has a viral throat infection. And I have a cold. Howie got a doctor's appointment for 7:30 last night. It's like an emergency thing. Oh my God, the doctor looked 12 years old. I'm not kidding. The tea today, I should make this. Hang on a second. No, it won't work. The tea today is Black Currant Beauty. I should have made it the picture. I have to make I have a bag, like a cup and a half of black currants from my bushes, and about 4 or 5 cups of blueberries. So I'm going to boil the currants, drain them for the juice, and use them, the juice, as the pectin punch and the flavor punch in my blueberry jam. Have you ever noticed blueberry jam just tastes like sugars and blueberries? If you mix it with black currant juice, it pops like crazy. Hey, Celeste Auto Care, Sage Spa, how are you? Diary, Mama Duke, Jacqueline. Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. Anyway, Howie still feels like shit. He's taking the rest of the week off. He's taking today and tomorrow off. The doctor said, he said, you've got a cold. He said he asked if we were vaccinated, and I said no. And he said, why not? And I told him why. I said, I can't remember the count. It's somewhere between 16 and 22 prescription meds that I cannot have due to reactions. I said, and I got Bell's palsy after a flu shot back when Briar was a baby. I said, I just don't do it. I just don't do it. And I said, besides, we're going to wait until the trial's over. And he didn't even flinch, didn't even blink. So we're going to wait till 2023 when the trial period's over and see how it all plays out. And he goes, well, you haven't got COVID, so don't worry about it. Yay, I made it to. Hey, Beth, how are you? Chloe, Kim, wow, we're a full house today. So, is at the post office. Hopefully, I will try with you. Well, I'm telling you, I might just go. I'm going to go and add some more water to this because I want it to last longer. I should have put it in a bigger cup, but oh, I'll be right back, folks. Oh my God, that's good tea. That is such a good cup of tea. So, I know, isn't it cute? It's adorable. I love it. And the big tree downstairs. One of the things is I've got like normal the normal flu. And remember on when I was decorating the downstairs tree and I missed a step. I like my foot slipped off and I missed a bunch of steps but I landed on my feet. I thought that was why my knees were so buggered. And then I was sitting thinking last night and I went, no, Bev, your knees were buggered going down those stairs. And that's why you missed the step. And it's not that my knees are buggered, it's I've got the flu. All my joints hurt. But I'm over the worst of it, so. No. And he said he didn't even swab his throat. He said there's no need to swab the throat. It's not, he would have recognized, he says it's just a bit of an infection, a viral infection. And so, and he said both your lungs are, well, Howie went in first, then me. He said your lungs are really clear. You don't have a fever. You're just, you got a cold kind of thing. And this ear, he looked and I said, I don't know why, but I get dry, crusty things falling out of my ears. Sorry about that, folks. I have a blockage in this ear. He said, you have a considerable blockage in your ear. I said, well, can you dig it out? And he goes, no. He said, but he recommended that I put olive oil in it, a couple of drops of olive oil, and lay down a couple times a day for the next 5 days, and then try and flush it out. Could be the reason I'm not hearing very well, right? Oh my God, Jacqueline. What happened to Angus? You should be asking what happened to Frankie. Angus had to be rehomed because my 2 Boston Terriers tormented him to death. We're trying to torment him. Wouldn't leave him alone. He wouldn't leave them alone. And Frankie and Gracie, once Frankie hit maturity, she got really aggressive with Gracie, and I had to rehome her. So, exactly. Wouldn't swab the throat. Exactly. He's already starting to feel better. He's going back to work Monday. And, excuse me, I'm feeling it in the back of my nose and throat because I've been snoring and snorting all night. Is Seashell here? Oh yeah, this would be really early for her. This would be like, I don't know, like 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning. She may actually be at her massage therapist. So sorry I've been out of the loop for a few years. That's okay, sweetheart. Have you met Gracie? My daughter had a cold recently as well. She took the day off work. Snoring, tons of fun, yeah. I enjoyed the scones video this morning. Well, thank you. With a blockage in your ear, that can affect your sinuses also. Well, it's just wax. It's just a ball of wax, I guess. So I said, should I warm the oil? And he said, no, that actually doesn't work as well. Because if you've got wax, if you warm the oil, it'll melt, I guess, the wax some and make it harder to get out because it's no longer a solid piece. Right? I picked up a cold or allergies, ear, nose, and throat. My lungs are sensitive to smells. Feeling better. Well, that's another thing too. Howie has the toots. Has had the toots since yesterday, and he was on the couch and I was in my chair and he was tooting. And he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry, honey." And I said, "What?" He said, "Oh, it's really bad. You're gonna, I tooted." And I said, "I don't smell a thing." And he looked at me, and I said, "This was before we went to the doctors." And then it hit me like a wall. I went, "Oh, okay, no, I don't got COVID." I snore like a bulldog and drool like a hound. Um, an ENT had to get Scott's ear blockage out. He could hear so much better. Oh yeah, he loves his scones. Um, you don't take any more vitamin C, okay? Turns out the ulcers on his tongue were because I was heavily dosing him in vitamin C, and they were chewable, and he had a canker on his tongue. And between the tea with with a quarter of a lemon and a slice of ginger and honey and the vitamin C pills, it he just had it ulcerated his mouth. It's just too much vitamin C. Plus, he's on blood pressure and cholesterol meds, and that much vitamin C. He's just reacting to it. My son has always had ear problems, many tubes put in over the years. The tubes just make the water go in better. It's like, you should get time release or non-acid vitamin C. Well, I'll know that next time, won't I? So, we're trying Chloe Cat. You're welcome. What's Chloe Cat? No, Howie's not a pill person, eh? Like me, I've been on pills for so long that I could probably swallow a football. But Howie hates taking pills. He takes more pills than me, but he hates taking pills. There's no way he'd just swallow. And he shouldn't be taking that much vitamin C now. So, what's the name of my chopper? Well, I'm going to see if I can find that on Amazon, because last time I went to check, they were sold out. They weren't even carrying them. Said chopper. There it is. I will give you the Amazon link for it. I supposedly I have an Amazon thing where I get, like I'm an affiliate, but I don't know how it works. So there's the link for the chopper. Hey, Ralph, how's it going, honey? My daughter and son-in-law both not vaxxed, very ill. Turns out there is a virus going around, lasted about 6-7 days. Howie, apparently there's a virus going around. No, not the COVID. A regular, like a virus. Oh, it's beautiful and sunny today. We got a little bit of snow last night. You're welcome, darling. Mine is similar, and it's a Mueller. Well, the only thing I got to warn you about this is learn your chopper before you start playing with it. There is a specific way for the blades to go in. And don't try and push your potato through and put it, because you may just shove that potato through with your hand and cut your hand. Those are sharp. So be very careful. Yeah, the flu also. You're working on your hand bar lotions. Oh, wonderful. Our doctor is seeing more flu than seen. Well, it's the season. Right? This is what they were hoping to accomplish. They were hoping to accomplish eradicating the flu. Now stick with me here, because when Howie first got sick, I looked up the symptoms I looked up the symptoms, and it had everything from vomiting and diarrhea to a head cold listed in other words, any symptom of a systemic infection at all. Ears, nose, throat, chest, gut, butt, doesn't matter. Right? You got any of those symptoms, they want you to get tested for COVID. And it's like, no, bud. No. First two things you need to hear. You need to realize, can you breathe through your chest? Do you have a fever? If you don't have either one of those, I'm not a doctor. I'm just saying. And the doctor looked to be about 12 years old. Exactly, Joe Mama. My son's family has had Norwalk on the weekend. Now his wife and daughter have a cold. What's Norwalk? I have no idea what Norwalk is. Well, of course they are. Do you know that the common cold and flu is a coronavirus? That's why they can't cure it. Because it's a coronavirus. It's a virus. It's cold here and rainy. I hope it snows here. It hasn't snowed since 1999. Where are you, Rosie? Oh, Paula. Oh, yeah, the stomach flu. Yes. It is a respiratory infection that produces a certain... Now, you want to double check this, okay? It is an upper respiratory infection, but the phlegm that you get from it is a specific type, and it can turn to concrete, like concrete in your lungs. That's why putting them on ventilator doesn't work. It's trying to push oxygen past these lumps of shit in your lungs and bronchial tubes, and it's like it shreds your lungs. It's like here's my okay. I have a blockage in my ear, right? And the doctor told me to soften the blockage, like slick up the blockage, and then have it flushed out. Now, obviously, they can't do that with that, but they're trying to flush it out with air or get the air past the blockages. And what happens if you blow up a balloon? Okay, like you think about this, pushing air past blockages and forcing your lungs to expand, and they're not getting the oxygen. Why? Because they're being forced. It's damaging the lungs, not the COVID. The ventilator is damaging, so that you're not. It's not a good treatment for it at all. Virus they kept finding on cruise ships, Norwalk virus. Well, it sounds like it doesn't sound like a virus at all. It sounds like somebody got messy with I don't know. I'm not quite awake yet. Okay. I remember one Christmas, my kids got so sick the week before Christmas. They were sleeping in bunk beds. And Arthur was in the top bunk bed because he was older, and Briar was in the bottom one because he was younger and it was bigger. And I'll never forget, I had a washing machine, but only an apartment-sized dryer, and I was washing bedding constantly, because Arthur would just lean over the side of the bed and puke right down onto Briar's bed, and they were just sick. They were just so sick. And by the time Christmas morning came around, they were great. I woke up Christmas morning and I was like, oh, here we go. Right. And I got up, watched the kids open the presents, and I went back to bed. and it was awful. Well, the thing is I don't think it's necessarily just the sanitizing of the ship. It's probably let's sanitize the kitchen a little better, maybe. Tallahassee flu. Oh my goodness, I missed that, Becky. Hi, Marty. How's it going? The other day and felt like 35 here on Saturday. Supposedly, it's supposed to be between 70 and 75. Holy crap. Oh, so don't stick Q-tips in your ears. They only clean here, but if there's anything in there, it pushes them back. Not necessarily, Bev. My sister-in-law and Broa had COVID. She had all the symptoms, no fever, and my brother only had a cough, no fever. He passed away, his organs shut down. COVID attacks your organs. He went blind. Wow. Really? Were they vaccinated, honey? They both had COVID. Were they vaccinated? That's the biggest question these days. Like the doctor said, you're double vaccinated, right? I said, no. Single? No. Hey, there you go, Beth. Celeste, were they vaccinated? I'm just curious. Because him going blind and having his organs shut down? I'm sorry. That's not COVID. It's been a year now since I had COVID, no long-term side effects. I really think seeing you have such a following and people trust you, you should encourage people to take supplements. I do. Are you kidding? We have one tablet that is calcium, magnesium, and D3, vitamin C. No, excuse me. The one tablet is calcium, magnesium, and zinc. And I have D3 tablets, B12, vitamin C, echinacea. That's why I have a cold and not that. You know why? Because the first signs of his thing, he wouldn't take the supplements. But look at the difference. I took supplements, he did not. We're both living in the same house. Take a puff for me. All right, fan. I'm just asking, Celeste, because... Hi, Timothy. Beth D. I had 3 friends who had reactions to the vax. Yeah, I have family that's reacted. It was in January before the vax. I have some doctors vaxxed and others not. Well, then, you know what? This is what I'm hearing. Okay, now you do your own research. But I am hearing that the way they're calling this, okay? You could have other things. Now, for starters, the test they use to test you for C is not 100% accurate. So you could test false positive and be sick with something totally different. B, you could, your sister-in-law's, your brother or whatever, could have had something totally different and still have tested positive for COVID. And when he died, they labeled it a COVID death. But I'm sorry, your organ, it's a lung and bronchial virus. Okay? Why would that make you go blind and have your organs shut down? So this is the numbers game that's going on. And I'm probably going to get dinged for this, so I don't want to talk about it anymore. Okay? Some people are going into the hospital with heart problems or heart attacks, and they're testing them in the hospital or whatever, and they're testing positive for COVID, but they die of a heart attack. They're listing it as a COVID death. You hear me? That's true. That's going on all the time. And when, but they're suppressing the reactions to the vax. It's all screwed up. It's all a numbers game. It's all been rigged. And the most horrific part of it is watching the mismanagement that cost thousands of seniors their lives, thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of senior citizens and homes their lives. Sense of smell, ear, nose, and throat, respiratory. It's all a part of that system. Okay, Stephen. She refused the vent. Oh my God, Joe. My family member that passed 3 weeks ago was fully vaxxed, got COVID, dead 3 days later. She refused the vent. I would refuse it too. I mean, vaxxed. And some not vaxxed. Yes, that is true. Test is not always right. I'm with you. It's a no-win situation, and we don't know the truth yet about the shot. It's a game. The thing is, okay, if you're vaxxed, be really careful. Okay, if you're vaxxed, your immune system is more lower than mine, because your immunities are now targeted immunities to the original COVID virus, or targeted immunities to the virus, okay? If the vaccine even works, which if you can still get it and still spread it, that means it doesn't work. But if you get it, it replaces part of your immune system. The first shot replaces part of your immune system with a targeted immunity to fight COVID. That's what they say. Okay, that's what I'm told. It fights the COVID, but it pushes your other immunities, your other immune system to the side because it's bigger and stronger and better. But it only covers one thing. So your immune system is now susceptible to other secondary infections. Okay, so be really, 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 really careful if you're vaxxed. Okay, that's why all the vaccinated people are so scared of unvaxxed people, because my cold that I'm just kicking the shit out of with tea and honey and lemon and supplements could kill somebody who's been vaccinated because their immunity's low. You are incorrect, Bev. When your breathing is not adequate, it affects all of your organs. Yes, they can all shut down with COVID. Okay. That's after the fact. Okay. Yes, if you lose oxygen, your organs are going to shut down. But how did it get that far? Do you know that what does anybody know what the treatment is in the hospital if you have COVID, other than putting you on a ventilator? Does anybody know what the treatment is? Has anybody gone into the hospital with COVID and gotten out? Like, gone into the hospital, been on a ventilator, and gotten out of the hospital? Tell me, what is the treatment for COVID in the hospital? But you're right. You know, oxygen is the driving force in our organs and all our body. But I'm sorry. You know, there's got to be a better way to fight this than just sticking people in the hospital and putting them on a vent. I don't even know where to get K2. Hey, Bev, prayers for my friend's husband. He starts chemo next week for the second time. Okay, absolutely. I'm just saying, folks, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I'm not a doctor. This is common sense. Trying to force air into lungs that are blocked isn't going to work. You're just going to blow up the lungs. You have to get the shit out of the lungs. And there is a way they can do that. They can go in with a scope and rotor-rooter out stuff. You have to go under, anesthetic and stuff, but they won't do that. How about the big cream cheese shortage? Who cares? Like, yeah. So I was planning on making a cheesecake this year, but oh well. I'm going to make shortbread today instead. Okay. Remdesivir is the most ineffective drug available, not to mention the exorbitant cost. Okay, wait a second. Copy. Let me just give me a second here. Remdesivir is a broad-spectrum antiviral medicine. It is used for the treatment of the novel coronavirus COVID-19. It works by inhibiting an RNA-dependent enzyme called RNA polymerase that helps the SARS-CoV-2 virus make more copies of itself. This way, it decreases the viral load in the body. That's it? That's it? What about, flushing your system? Oh, never mind. You can't cream cheese, Lacey Black? How the hell did you do that? Let me guess, cat's cradle. Gotta run, Bev. Hubby just came home from work, down in his back. Gotta get him situated. Okay, sweetheart. I have been an ICU RN for years. Yes, I know several who have survived COVID on vents. You treat the symptoms, i.e. pressors to maintain the blood pressure, meds to keep the heart stable. So you're basically stabilizing the blood pressure and the heart. What about bronchial meds? What about meds that are supposed to kick out mucus and phlegm? Because that's what this is. It's phlegm, is it not? But it turns to concrete, kind of, like wet concrete in your lungs. So why don't they have why aren't they giving people an expectorant? This is what I want to know. I'm asking legitimate questions. I'm not being an asshole. I'm asking legitimate questions. Lack of oxygen enlarges the heart. COVID clots your blood. It starts to spiral. He coughed so hard he popped blood vessels behind his eyes. He was given remdesivir and also the antibody plasma. How he's sick? He's got a viral throat infection. No, not infection. He's got a viral infection in his throat. And his mouth was all full of ulcers because I overdosed him in vitamin C, ginger, and lemon tea. Cat's cradle, yeah. Yeah, it has been beat to death, sweetheart. You're right. And you know what? Talking isn't going to change anything, right? It's at the point now, it's where this is like the internet, okay? Our health system right now is like the internet. You're not going to get any satisfactory answers from anybody. It's that simple. The only satisfactory answers that Howie and I got were that neither one of us have COVID. We're not showing any COVID symptoms. I have a cold, the common cold, and Howie has a viral throat infection. Simple. I can't buy ivermectin. I can't buy it here. I actually blood thinners, he's already on those because he's a heart patient. To prevent clots, you do nebulizer to loosen all the different types of respirator meds. Respiratory therapists are lavaging. What does that mean? Yeah, I phoned my local saddle store, and because people are dying from taking ivermectin horse things, right? Well, just because horses weigh like 1,500 pounds and we only weigh like 150. So do the math. So I phoned just in case I wanted to have some on hand. And I phoned the saddle store. I used to buy goat feed there and all kinds of stuff for my goats and stuff. And I said, "Hey, Brenda," I said, "do you have ivermectin?" And she said, "Yeah, but I can't sell it to you." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Because you don't have horses." I said, "How do you know I don't have horses?" She said, "Come on, Bev. We're like neighbors." I said, "That's not the point." She said, she got a letter from the government saying, do not sell ivermectin to anybody unless they can prove they have horses. Papers, please. Yeah. Yeah. So I know where I can get some if I have to. No, I'm not. That's all I'm saying. 1 cc per pound. Or 0.01 cc per pound. Okay. Hey, Kathy, how's it going? Well, yeah, it's been approved for people. Just not the stuff you buy in the Tractor Supply. But yeah, it's been approved for people. You can buy it in other countries. So it's just horse shit. So I'm really, really enjoying this black currant tea. I think I would buy a box of this stuff. You need a tuberculin needle, which is subdivided into tenths of a cc. And what is that? Well, listen. Happiness is automatic. There's music in the air. Grab the boxes from the attic and haul them down the stairs. I don't know. Canada doesn't want people to use the ivermectin because it would end the pandemic. Well, we don't know. The truth is we are being lied to, and not necessarily lied to. Okay? There is ways that you can misdirect and misinform people with the truth or partial truths. And a lot of that's going on. You know, it is what it is. I'm not baking much. Can dose exactly by weight for 1 cc for 100 pounds. There you go. GMA. Hi, Ma. I didn't see it. Where is it? Hang on. Let me see your picture. And then let me look above for. I don't see your message, sweetheart. I don't see it at all. Hang on. Let me look. No, I don't see it. What did you say, sweetheart? Marnie, what's the best thing for an itchy throat? Turmeric and ginger. I know it's from postnasal drip. Lozenges. You mean like a tickle in your throat? Take a teaspoon of crystallized honey, like the thick stuff, and put it on your tongue, or put your honey in the fridge and put a teaspoon on your tongue and just hold it there and let it trickle, and like hold it in your mouth. Don't swallow really, but just let the honey trickle down your throat. It's what my mom used to do. No, I didn't get your message above, sweetheart. I'm going to try and do some holiday baking. Made peanut butter brittle and spritz cookies and boy fudge so far. I'm not making a lot of sweets. There's only 3 of us here. I actually found a fruitcake in the freezer. So I'm not making that this year. Well, it's too late anyway. But I'm going to make some brick shortbread and some whipped shortbread. And I might make a few snowballs, but I'm not really going crazy on baking this year because there's no company. And we don't need it. Oh, there you go, Lisa. Honey and lemon juice, take 2 spoonfuls 3 times a day. If you don't have access to ivermectin, another treatment that does virtually the same thing is ivermectin is fenbendazole 222 milligrams daily for 3 days and 4 days off. It is a dewormer. Well, when I punch in ivermectin, I get Paragard and all that stuff. It's for parasites, right? Oh, that Rocky Road fudge is killer. And I used to make those jars up. Did you see me make the jars up? I used to make the jars up, and all they had to do was add peanut butter and mix it all together. I can't remember. I think I might do some fudge this year. You know what fudge would be good? It would be good. And I think if you take a cup of peanut butter and a cup and a half of chocolate chips and melt them together and then put them in a pan, that's peanut butter chocolate fudge. Horehound lozenge. Watched your video on Rocky Road fudge. Okay, hang on a second. I think it's under gifts in a jar. Hang on a second. Just give me a second. Oh, shit. Wrong again, honey. No, I can't look at it right now. I can't find it right. Well, yes, I can. Hang on. My brain is not firing on all cylinders today. So... hang on a second. It should be in here. Well, isn't that weird? I can't find my own video. Okay. Let me just, oh, stop. No wonder you people ask me if I have these videos, because I can never find them either. I'll find it and I'll post them, okay? Does anybody, how long was your comment, Gma? How long was your comment? Because if it's over 100 characters, over 200 characters, it will be booted by YouTube. Oh, did you read my message above? No, I haven't found it. And I do not have, it must have been booted, honey, because it's not here. Lacey Black, Celeste Auto here. No. And we are way past our half-hour limit. Now listen, folks. It's not showing, Gma. It's not showing. So if you gotta say it now, because we're gonna shut down right shortly here. Because I'm trying to keep these tea breaks, because they're daily, down to a half an hour. And I watched Whipper-Roll Holler's recipe on Loretta Lynn's fudge yesterday. Ooh. I use the recipe on the marshmallow fluff jar. Turns out perfect every time. Oh, good, Gma. Good. I'm glad to hear it. Well, listen, folks. It is time for me to, I don't know what I got to do. I think I'm going to take the day off. I'm really, really not feeling like up to par. So I also use the recipe on the back of the marshmallow fluff. I'm so excited. I've been missing you. Hi, Kelly. Since I've had the grandkids so much, but I've missed you. Love the scones. Oh, scones are, I used to make them all the time at the bakery, but now I just make them for the holidays because they're not something to be made for every day. Anyway, for all those who care to, please help me close with some spiritual love, for the simple reason is we've talked about a lot of negative things today, and negativity, this is the truth, okay? Look it up, all right? You don't believe me, look it up. When you take a positive thought and bring it out your mouth, it has 10 times more power because you're sharing it, okay? And it is more likely to be shared. When a negative comment comes out of your mouth, from your brain, and comes out of your mouth, it is 40 times more powerful. Do you know why? Because it's more likely to spread faster. because anger is like, it's like, positive thoughts are like tires. Okay. They take you places. Negative thoughts are like drag racing slicks. You go hard, fast, and you're never sure whether you're going to reach the other end because they're 40 times. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm really not feeling well. Just remember, negativity has more power than positivity. So we have to focus on the positivity, okay? We are in a snowstorm starting today, hunkering in for a couple of days. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Howie and I said, if we go to the doctor and he thinks we have COVID, then what do we do? He said, then we hunker down. I said, we can't even go to the grocery store if we've got it. It wouldn't be responsible, right? But then I realized we're fully stocked. Even if we ran out of milk for our coffee and tea, I got powdered milk tucked away, so I'm not worried about it. Thank you, G-Ma. All right, nice deep breath. Hey, God, creator of all, please help wipe away any negativity that we may have generated here today with our talk. God, please help us to focus on love, light, laughter, and the celebration of our lives, because we are alive and that needs to be celebrated. God, we're going to lift up everybody who is sick and suffering, alone, tired, anxious, ill, mentally ill, emotionally ill. We lift them up to you, God, because we have each other and we have you and we know we have you, but they don't know. So we're going to give them to you, God. Let the sunshine of your love pour down over them like warm honey. And please, God, give them some peace. Give them some contentment, even if only for a little while. Help them to see what they actually have right in front of them, which is love, the love of a divine being. And that's love is the most important thing. Amen. Shalom. Namaste. Peace be with you. Merry meet. Blessed be. Miigwech. Walk in the light of God. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Mwah!